Still at TIFF. First, let me say I've only been here 2.5 days and I've already encountered so many of you. It is so cool to meet all of you, and I genuinely appreciate every single person who's come up to me here. So, I just wanted to shout you out. I love you all. Anyways, Anora, Sean Baker's Palme d'Or winning film earlier this year at Cannes. He's probably a film Twitter favorite with movies like The Florida Project and most recently Red Rocket. But can he be an Oscars favorite with this film that follows a sex worker who meets the son of a rich Russian oligarch? And off we go. Well, I just saw it and it's almost a perfect movie. The first half in particular, it is like the most perfect thing I've ever seen. See, there I go with another hyperbolic statement, but whatever. I mean it. This film feels so alive and full of life. I really felt it coming off the screen like I was in a trance. I honestly can't believe how much I responded to it. It's funny, it's endearing, its energy is infectious, while also doing a good job of laying down the foundation of the movie and what it's going to tackle and its own ideas. You have this rich Russian son who's 21 years old and spends his dad's money like how I would imagine a billionaire's 21-year-old son would. While you have Annie or Anora, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to stick with Anora, who isn't particularly wealthy. And as their relationship is introduced, it is very client-based. You know, the acts that she performs for him or on him, feel a little transactional, like she's back at the club. But as the igniting point of the movie happens, the line between that starts to get a little fuzzy. And I think one aspect of the movie that works really well is how Sean Baker just puts the audience to make them feel like what Anora is going through the whole time. Kind of makes us feel like we're Anora, not because we can twerk, because, I assure you, myself and everyone in that theater almost would not be the right demographic for that. I really threw myself off with that twerking comment. But because I was thinking to myself, like, does she actually love him, Ivan, or does she love just his money or what he can provide or the idea of what he can provide? Like, what is she really in love with? And as the movie progresses, I don't know if she knows for sure if she actually loves him or just the money and the fun. But goddamn, does this movie have some magical ass moments. There's one scene in particular that, honest to God, just made me feel like I was flying. Like I was in the best spot on earth at that time. Just pure joy you're experiencing, like you are right where you want to be, and that is the mark of a special movie with a special performance by Mikey Madison. I just talked about The Brutalist in my previous video about how Adrian Brody was my favorite performance of the year, and it works so well because Mikey Madison, welcome to the top of my personal best actress performances that I've seen this year. She is incredible in this. You believe her as Anora. She's funny. She also has that fuck you to her that you expect, and maybe stereotypically, I don't know, from New Yorkers from what I hear, but she is excellent at those and some of those darker moments as well. Absolutely deserves every single rave and review that she's gotten, and this will be one of those performances that will be talked about throughout the year. And then as the movie goes along to the second half, it does take a tonal turn. It's a slow turn into this more tense-filled moments as more people come in and out of Anora and Ivan's relationship. And this movie has gotten some comparisons to Uncut Gems. Now, a part of me thinks that whenever someone sees a movie of multiple people talking over each other and yelling and it's a little tense, they're just like slap the Uncut Gems poster on it. But, in fairness, I do see what they're talking about. And maybe this ramp up to a more thriller, tense, anxiety-filled situation may turn some people off. But to me, it was a natural progression of the story. So I don't have that complaint at all. Basically, the second half, it just gets real. As one would expect if you're in your early 20s and you meet someone who feels like the richest person on the planet and you guys hit it off, like, you're gonna do some crazy shit. And that high, that sugar high of those moments is perfectly illustrated in this movie, but also the come down is demonstrated perfectly in this movie as well, because all of a sudden they have to be adults. They can't just go on partying and living life forever, and Ivan's immaturity also really shows, and it just continues for a really compelling watch on like what the hell is gonna happen now. And as one character may leave the movie for a bit and another one enters, they are all very compelling. Even the side characters are. And that is a credit to the ensemble cast around Mikey Madison as well. Mark Edelstein, I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. I don't even know if he's acting, to be honest, because he really just looks like that character to a T. And people calling him the Russian Timothée Chalamet is honestly a really apt comparison. I'm sorry, he really is. But everyone from Ivan's parents to kind of his like guardian overseer to what feels like his bodyguards, the performances are all amazing. Now, the ending of the movie might leave people a little down, kind of walking out of the movie. It does end on a bit more of a somber note, and that's not a problem. That's not what I'm trying to say, but just from the absolute high in energy of what it was like in the first half of the movie to where it ends, it's a jump. But to me, that's all purposeful as we follow Anora's journey. I mean, it makes sense that we're on this ride with her. In all honesty, my main problem outside of, I did enjoy the first half more than the second, but even still, I really enjoyed the second. My main thing is this movie is a little too long. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes, and for the story, it just feels long. Because there are some moments in the second half where it kind of feels like it starts to repeat itself a little bit. And I hate to even say that because I don't like adding to the movie runtime discourse, but as someone who, again, just saw a 3.5-hour movie and didn't really complain about the runtime, I think it's okay for me to say this. But even still, don't get me wrong, this is absolutely one of my favorite movies of the year. It has deserved every piece of praise it's gotten. I really connected to this movie in a way I didn't really expect, and I can't wait to see it again. Anora, 4.5 stars. Good performances this year at TIFF, honestly. It's nice to see. Time to eat.